Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morgani. Apologise, the sun's just come out behind us, Pete. It's cold.
First time in about 8 hours today. It's right when we're broadcasting.
Just a bit glary. So.
Looks like I've got a halo across the top of your head there.
Yeah, it does. But anyway, hopefully you can hear us okay and see us okay. Working out of our portable studio, the back of Peter's big four-wheel drive.
At Wallace again too, Darren.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the pub's open too, Pete.
6 o'clock on a Friday night. It could be dangerous in our older days or younger days.
Maybe even today.
Could be. You've been busy.
Oh, yeah, it's a busy day today, mate. We've had a busy week. We're just saying it. The week's flown. A lot's been done, so I think we've had another 4 odd files. And anyway, we're going to go back through our runners, talk about what's coming up as we really get into the Spring Carnival.
I'll just ask a question on here. I can see Damien Kelly from the Meredith pub. He'll be annoyed we're not at his pub. Mitch Newman, just let us know if you can see us, and more the point, hear us.
Doesn't matter if they can't, because we're not going to change it.
No, well that's right, but anyway.
Righto,
5 runners we've had today.
Righto, where do we go back to?
Go back to the money bags at Flemington last week. I'll let you run through that, but he's crying out for a mile.
Yep, more of the same. 1400, gets into a nice spot, travels good. They sprint up, he gets left flat-footed, gets surrounded by horses, and then runs late to the line. Just crying out for a mile. So he will go to the Sale Cup whenever that's on, Pete. Over 1600, 400
Sunday week,
metre,
I reckon it is.
400 metres straight. And that's the race that we're aiming at, the Sale Cup for Mr. Moneybags.
Mitch Newman's lying because he says we look great.
Does he? But he's in the pub and had a few beers, I reckon.
Look great, boys. He probably is. Yeah.
We'll get to ransom money in a minute, which he's waiting for.
He's waiting on our assessment. Yeah, the old money bags, a mile, and then there's a mile. I don't know if you mentioned the Oaks.
Flemington.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he'll get his chance there. Melburnian. I can't remember if it was Friday night or Saturday night, but it was early in the morning.
It was definitely Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well, it was Sunday morning, wasn't it? About 4 a.m.
Yeah, and he ran.
And it was not broadcast due to daylight saving.
He ran a lovely little second. I've seen the replay for the first time this morning. Look, the winner, 100 out.
Just got bloused.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's of course Melburnian running, trained out of Ireland, running in Newmarket.
Yep.
It was a pretty big race, that. £50,000.
Yep.
That race, so that's like equivalent to one of our Group 3s, Group 2s. That's the sort of style they do over there.
A little wary because they said the Irish invader hit the front, so...
Yeah, so no, he's got him going good, that horse. He's been a real headache, that horse. He's over-raced and done a lot wrong, but Tony's on top of him, and 5-year-old mare, and he said it's probably 12 months away from peaking.
Unbelievable, isn't it? But they just keep persevering, don't they? And she's smothered
That's her best run.
Smothered up beautifully in the field and sprinted through.
Picked up 20 grand.
Yeah.
I think she only cost 30, so...
Oh, well, heading in the right direction. So is
late bloomer.
Any plans?
No.
No, because the sales were a plan at once.
Well, she was going to get sacked if she went no good, which is why she was in England. But anyway, we'll just push on with her. But he said she's going to win races and she's improving all the time.
Yep. Donald.
Monday.
Periscope. Unfortunately, look, he ran no good. It was disappointing, but he just can't get over his little issues, can he? Probably the best way to put it. He's been sore from nearly day one, and when you think you got him right, I think he offsets and then he hurt something else, and
no, his body's not up to it. He's got good ability, very good ability, as we know. Ran second to Vow and Declare as a young horse, and he's got great ability, but unfortunately these issues flaring up in his stifles and his back, which we've known about, and they've been treated. But anyway, we just can't get the work into him. We can't keep him sound for more than one run, and it's just, it's just fruitless. So at the end of the day, we're going to pull the plug on him, and we need to, work out with the owners whether we sell him or find him a nice home. But at this point, there's no point going on with him because his body just can't take it.
And Paul says it becomes mental in the end. They know they're going to hurt when they go 100%.
Well, if you've got a crook hamstring, you're not going to run flat out.
No.
And unfortunately, Paul's had him up in the sand there.
Yeah.
He's not galloping as much as he wanted to, and he's done everything he can, but comes a time where you've got to say the welfare of the horse comes first.
Yeah, exactly. And well done to Paul with Surprise Baby into the Melbourne Cup. Not us, but one of his horses.
Yeah, he's going well, and that horse will certainly run top 5 in the Cup, in my opinion.
Yeah, for a horse that's had 8 starts, it's an amazing story.
Well, a bigger story is that Southern France is on the plane, Pete.
Saturday
night he arrives, 9
Yep.
p.m. at Tullamarine, 1 a.m. at Werribee.
We don't go to Werribee very often, but during October we get down there a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to get down next week and have a look, and I'm sure when he gets paraded, they'll all be talking about him. He's a lovely looking horse. We'll get some video for you next week.
Absolutely. Roderer, I went from Donald to Bendigo. Discussion will be that this bloke probably gets gelded.
I thought the post race from Brett Preble, like he ran 7th.
Yep.
He travelled forward and then just whacked away. But I thought what Brett Preble had to say at the end was very encouraging. That he felt like he's got a really good motor, but his brain's not there. He's looking at the girls, so he needs a bit of gear adjustment behind his back legs. And
the ultimate.
He'll get gelded and he'll be spelled. And he said we should have a bit of fun with him next year.
It was really. I mean, sometimes you just wonder what information you can get out of that run, and face value, you could just say how disappointing, but he come back and he straight away said, "Geld this horse, you'll nearly win first up with him." So he can feel that there's a motor there, which,
good jockeys can tell you a lot.
Yeah, well, Brett's been on. Well, he beat us in a Melbourne Cup, didn't he, with Green Moon?
Did he? If I'd known that, I wouldn't have put him on.
I did mention it to him on the day. I said, if you're looking for a cup ride, ring the boss, we've got one coming over. He goes, "I know." And he almost intimated as if I'm too late anyway.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, so... today, as Mitch Newman eagerly awaits the report, Ransom Money, first run in about 5 weeks. Obviously, we had an issue 3 weeks ago.
So he pulled a shoe and stood on a nail.
Yeah, so that put him back. And then we were meant to run last week. Of course, we didn't get a run as emergency. That meeting was called off. Here we are today in a 64, drew 11 of 12 or something like that. And look, he's a kind of horse you can't go forward from that gate. So you go back. We found the two favourites backs, but it's very hard in those even 64s to give away a start and win the race.
Well, it's hard to go back and win with 60 kilos.
Yeah, and
plus there's some reports there that track was too firm.
Yeah, well, the inside was the opposite to where the middle.
It was chopping out.
Yeah.
The middle was.
Yeah, and the rail was out 5 metres, so it makes it sort of... Horses were running on and winning, but look, 5 weeks between runs, the last 100 he was tired. Look, it's a hard one with this horse because he doesn't run bad enough that he loses points, and he doesn't, he needs everything to go right to win a 64, and I don't know, we're at the crossroads a little bit. Mitch is inclined to give him another chance, so if we can find something in the next fortnight, if he's found a length off this run and you just find something a bit easier, draw a barrier and see how we go.
I think he might have to, we're just going to have a look at what we're doing with this horse, because I just feel going back with 60 kilos, you got no hope.
No.
I think the race where he won at Moonee Valley, he was camped riding behind the speed.
Yeah.
And maybe we're just riding him too quiet, Pete. I don't know whether Mitch has looked at those replays, but that's your job for next week.
The trouble is, you draw 12 or 13, it's hard to get.
Well, he doesn't have the speed, but he needs a lot to go right. Or maybe we need to just throw him into 70 somewhere and just get him down in the way. I don't know.
Anyway,
but it's frustrating.
We're going to pull the calendar out.
But I would have to say that if we can't turn him around after next run, I'm not sure he warrants another prep.
No.
But the owners will have to vote and decide whether we move him on or whether we want to give him another go. But I'm kind of thinking, if there's only another win in him, is it worth spending all that money on another prep?
Yeah, and if you can find it this prep, it'll be easier.
Get it done.
Yeah.
Now tonight, Pete, two
runners to come. I'm just looking at the time's about 6:30, so in about 3/4 of an hour.
D batters.
It's probably not 6:30.
Sunshine Coast.
Sunshine Coast, race 1. Sono Dulce, second up, 1,000 metres. There's something about even money in it, or 220.
She was very good first up for us.
Yeah.
Got beat half a length by a smart horse. We thought she'd be pretty short in the fillies and mares maiden, but looks like we've run into 2 smart ones, Pete. 2 are Gillian Heinrichs. One's at 2:15 and one's at 3:10.
Yeah, one's first up, one's had a run on.
Yeah, and one's placed in stakes grade. Now this is a beautiful filly. If you get a chance to have a look at her on the TV. She's a beautiful and I'm invincible mare. And look, Damien's still not worried. He said it'll need to be a very, very good horse to beat her. She's about $9. Great each way chance. So Sono Dulce each way tonight. Now David and Karen Dunstan have flown up.
Yeah.
They've gone up to watch her run.
Yep.
And to meet the infamous Damien Batters.
Damien Battered Sav.
He'll be shaking in his boots.
We'll let out. He's got a runner at about race 6 too, the top weight, isn't it? What's it called?
Big Bud's his favourite.
Big Bud's. Yep.
Good luck with it. So, yeah, so no dodgy. I think she'll run a bottler.
If she runs up to her first run, she's got to be in the race.
Definitely.
Yep. Tonight also, a bit later on, at 8 o'clock, we've got La Pietra with Robbie Griffiths. Now, same jockey on. Hopefully different tactics down.
Well, they're going to go back.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
was just ridiculous. Like, first up, they went back and she ran
on.
home okay.
Yep.
And then second up, they decided to go forward and she dropped out. So, shake my head, but Cranber's probably not the best track to go back. But at least they've learnt the lesson and we're going to go back. So, she's looked $25. I just want to see her run on a bit. We're not expecting her to win necessarily, but if she can just show that she's building to a win, I think get this under the belt and we'd be happy.
And you've got to teach her to race the proper manner.
Well, she's going to be very confused, Pete.
3 wide without cover tonight.
She's going to be a very confused horse.
Anyway, that's James Winks we're talking about. He's been on the 3 times.
He knows the horse, so anyway, hopefully we're looking for an improved run there.
As far as racing goes, Darren, as the sun disappears and it drops another 4 degrees,
hurry up.
we've got no runners on the weekend.
No, we've got a race-free weekend.
Yep.
But we still be busy. Got mans to cover.
I'm going down to Geelong racetrack. I said to Brad, be kind if you pick a time out when you take
yes.
the Night of Thunder horse to the track. It was his last bit of work before he goes to Archie's. He goes, does 6:15 suit you? Well, he fell off the chair. So
It's not really 6:15, is it?
Yeah. And
You might as well just go now.
I texted
Time we get out of the pub, it'll be time to go.
I texted him back and said, someone told me that's the best part of the day, and he texted back and said they're liars. So anyway, I'll go down and get some footage of that Night of Thunder. He's really impressed with him, and next week sometime he'll come back to Archie's for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Yep.
Just when I can get him moved.
So no runners. You've got a few coming to see Foals on Sunday, I believe.
35, Peter.
35 owners. Jeez. That's going to test the bar.
Yeah, it's busy.
Liz has got a few lady friends to
She's got
tipple with the champers with.
I think the car was full of food on the way back.
Good job, man. I'm now going to the club for dinner.
Who's that?
Mitch Newman.
Oh,
He hung around to listen to us, and now he's off to the club.
Right, so what are we doing, Pete? We're
He's picked out a race. There's a race at the Valley, benchmark 64 in 3 weeks' time.
Oh, well, maybe we should just make that the song.
Yeah, we can get them all down.
Righto, so no runners, so it'll be a quiet weekend. We've got to wait till Monday. We're there finally.
Another one's about 5 weeks between runs.
French Fizz.
Interesting point. I went back and I thought, I couldn't remember, but I thought that there was a gap between her, the race before she won.
Yep.
There was 4 weeks.
Oh, maybe they've looked at that.
I don't know.
We'll give them the credit.
I think it was more that she was pretty flat after her last run. But anyway, they've given her time. Apparently she galloped for her really well during the week. John Allen goes on.
Yep.
Scratched today because of gate 13, and I always cringe when they scratch and go to another meet, but they drew gate 3.
Oh, well, they're blessed.
And we got John Allen, so she gets every
chance. So
chance.
where's this, at Chuka? So you be going there?
Oh, I don't know. 4:30. See how we go.
It's a long way at Chuka.
But 58 grade, Darren, she's got to be top 3.
Yeah, I just want to see her run well. Because last start there had to be something wrong.
Oh.
She had to be out of virus. There had to be something wrong.
Oh, of course the tongue tie goes on.
Tongue tie on. Yeah, well that's
I reckon I think that possibly is what happened.
Righto.
Because she made a noise after the race, and generally that's what they do if they get their tongue back. So
yeah, they can't breathe. Yep.
No.
All right.
Fingers crossed there for all the ladies in French Fizz. I've got Southern France. You've jumped the running sheet.
I've jumped that.
Collectible next Wednesday, Darren.
So Caulfield.
Yep. Mile.
What's it called? Blue Sapphire Day.
Yeah, it's a Lady Days Vase. It's a 200k race, $200,000 race.
Group 3.
Yep.
Collectible.
Yep.
John Allen's supposed to be riding it.
Booked to ride.
And really looking forward to her getting out to the mile.
Some of her best runs have been there.
Yep, no, really looking forward to it.
I did see Princess Jenny and a couple
I hope
others.
it done run.
They're in the noms. There's only about 18 noms. So
Yeah,
I mean,
well, he's got 59.
Yeah,
so
it might be a field of 10 or 11.
hopefully it doesn't go. It's a winner, that horse, Princess Jenny. It's just a winner.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, I want to go there. I want to give... she's got 2 goes to win black type before Flemington week.
Yep.
And if she doesn't win black type, she'll go around to Flemington on the Thursday. So we'll give her 2 goes to see if she can win some group races before we head off into Flemington, and I guess I better pass on condolences. We lost one of the owners this week in Collectible Pete.
Oh, didn't know.
Yeah, Henry Watt passed away. I reckon I only ever saw her run once. It was the day she won, and it's disappointing to get that news today.
Well, let's hope for the family's sake that she can run really well next week.
Yeah, hopefully she can run well for them all.
Yeah. So that covers our runners.
That's all the runners.
I must mention the tipping competition.
Oh yes, how's your tipping competition?
Speaking of poor old Mitch. Mitch is like the horse that's not quite ready for 1300. The 1250 metre mark, he's lengths in front. And someone tips Mitch Freeman's $50 winner in the last to blouse him.
Who was that? Someone?
Ryan Tibby.
Ryan Tibby.
Over the top. Actually, and the person who tipped the second horse would have beat Mitch in the end because I had it as their best bet, and it was like 20 to 1 as well.
Jeez, good effort. Jeez,
So
I don't know how they could find those winners last week.
Ryan he sort of tipped like he had accumulated about $26 at that stage.
How many people played, Pete?
83.
83. How many got this week?
No, well, some can enter now for the weekly part, but they're a long way behind for the overall.
Yeah.
But
So
you
it's
can
a
still
weekly
jump
comp.
in.
It's a weekly comp.
Yeah, weekly comp with a 6-week winner at the end.
Yeah, the overall winner.
Yeah, so you can still jump in if you haven't.
Just want to play for the week.
Yeah, and there's $100 worth of merchandise.
Yep, and so, you get to spend 3 hours with Pete in the gym.
We'll give you all the old stock, right? All this stuff here that's out of vogue. Oh no, there'll be a cap or something.
I should have bought a coat.
I know. So yeah, get your tips in tomorrow, and it was well received. 83 people.
Yeah, good.
Took ages to market.
Beck's job.
Yeah, well now that I've got it all set up, because Beck was sort of AWOL last weekend.
Yeah, well she was unwell. She was.
Beck, you got that? That's your job.
Yeah, well she
watching.
was in hospital. She wasn't very well, so we're glad that you're back home because kids were left alone. Pete was down the pub every night, out at a few nightclubs while you're in hospital struggling.
Nightclubs.
Hey, couldn't find him, didn't answer the phone.
I was up and about doing my stuff. But
Hey?
I'm glad I had my first home
Home-cooked
meal
meal.
last night for about 5 days.
Yep, that McDonald's starts to taste the same after a while.
It does, yes. Anyway,
All right,
so that's
enough
that.
of that. Is that it? Have we forgotten anything?
I don't think we've got anything else.
For the ones that are going to watch on YouTube, you've got a trainer.
Yeah, we've got Mr. Bowman, Group 1, Daniel.
Yes, I like the photo on Twitter.
I seen him leaning up there and I thought, geez, this bloke's pretty comfortable in his own skin at the moment. And it got a fair bit of airplay from a lot of others.
Yeah, very funny, very funny.
But anyway, Daniel Bowman, for the people that want to watch it, the recorded version, there's about 4 or 5 minutes of his background and how he got into racing and where he sits now.
That'd be interesting. I'll have to have a look because I don't know his story personally.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's big name trainers. Started off with David Hayes.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Sorry, Kieran Maher, then David Hayes. Yeah, so...
and now, Pete, you've been reading the news this week, the racing. There's been a bit of media around. What do you got to say about it?
Which bit?
All of it.
Wayne Hawkes is a goose. He's a goose.
It's unfortunate.
That'd be the only reason I'd go to Caulfield tomorrow, just to see if Lindsay Smith might plop one on his name, on his nose.
They're not besties, are they?
No.
But anyway, no, it's a bit of a sad state of affairs, isn't it? We don't need this in our industry, in the news this time of year or any time of the year.
The spin I put on it, Darren, is obviously with all the charges 8 months ago, it's just been highlighted to the absolute, the worst of what people could imagine if you don't, it's just really been sensationalised. Don't condone what's happened, no one does.
The words torture.
Tortured and all that, to me, it's not a good thing for racing, and it really paints it in a bad light.
Now, most of you out there would know that, ATB have had horses for Darren Weir since he started. Now, I'm just struggling to put what I know and what I've seen together with what's in the news. It just doesn't...
Well,
talking about two different people, and I just want to say, from my point of view, the horses that come home from that stable always looked well. They were always nice and kind and soft in the eye, and when I walked up and put a bridle or anything on them, they were always calm and relaxed. So, I just can't believe what I'm reading.
You would have handled hundreds and hundreds of years.
And they always walked on and off the truck, no problem. So I don't know what's going on any more than anyone else, only what we read in the paper. But, from an overall industry and the owner's point of view, and, it's disappointing to read all this. But you know, I guess in time it'll all come out, and we'll just have to sit by and wait and see.
To me, it blurs the contribution and the good parts. All that just gets pushed to the side, because the man obviously was a really good horseman and trainer and everything else, and that all, you know, like I said, we don't condone any of that, but it's just...
Anyway, it
destroys a really good career.
Well, it takes a little bit of fun out of the game. I mean, we all race horses for the fun and the thrill of it. Like we don't have to do this.
No.
You know, we don't have to race horses. We don't have to run a syndication business. People don't have to own shares. We all do it because we love the animal and we love the sport. Yeah. And we've got to get back to that. Yeah. But this kind of puts a dampener on it, right on the eve of the spring.
Bad timing.
And you know, it's very sad for the industry to have that, you know, in the headlines.
And it's going to be around for a little bit longer.
It's going to be around for a lot of years, I would say. This will drag out for years. Yeah. Anyway, that's enough on that. I'm going to get in the car.
It is now officially in
6
single
degrees.
figures.
And good luck.
The pots in the Wallace pub will be warmer.
Good luck with your horses this weekend, and look forward to seeing all you people up on the weekend. And by the way, I should say to all the owners out there, don't wait for an invitation to come to the farm. If you want to come and see your horse, pick up the phone, give us a ring, and I'm sure we can accommodate you. Till next week, I'm Darren Dance with Peter Morganti outside the Wallace Hotel.
Here with Daniel Bowman, added to the list of ATB trainers. Daniel, we'll just go back through your career or your history. I think you've been 4 or 5 years training, but we'll go right back to how your sort of beginnings. Interested in training, how did all that unfold from a little fella going forward?
Well, started off with grandfather was a bookmaker, so I got taken along to the races with him from a young age, and got into it through that side, and then decided a bit later in life that I wanted to work with the animal. So it wasn't until I was about 19, 20 that I just started working with Kieran Ma when he was here in Warrnambool, just in Winslow outside of Warrnambool. It was around that time he had Tears I Cry, so when he won the Emirates, that really lit the fire in my belly to see a young bloke from Warrnambool be able to do it. Just, you know, drove it home that I could do it too, so you know, really lit the fire for me to get involved in training.
Before we get to where you are now with your base at Wangoom, obviously there would have been other trainers that you crafted your training ability on. Just list a few of those that you work with.
Yeah, so obviously Kieran was the key one. He's a great educator and conditioner of horses. I did a bit of time at Lindsay Park under Tony McAvoy and David Hayes, and really learnt how to run a big operation there. And just sort of took bits and pieces from, you know, just seeing other trainers and what they do, and sort of come up with my own sort of style of training, and it seems to be working at the moment.
Now you're based at Wangoom, which for those that don't know, it's not too far out from Warrnambool. Just your staff numbers, horse numbers, and obviously a point of difference is the beach.
Yeah, so we're on about 29 acres out at Wangoom. It's about 5 minutes out of town. So we're about a 5-minute drive to the track and 10-15 minutes to the beach. And yeah, definitely the beach and the country atmosphere is our point of difference. We've got 30 boxes, and then we've got a heap of paddocks and day yards, so we can put them out during the day. They can be on nice grass during the day or all the time if they need to be. We sort of float between 30 and 38 in work, which is comfortable for us. And we've probably got around that 12 to 14 staff, just full-times, part-times, track riders, just fill all the gaps that we need. And obviously my wife Danita does a fair bit of the paperwork and accounts and whatnot, and a lot of the race day stuff. So it's a real family sort of environment, and we find that works really well because we're always on the same page.
Sounds like Warrnambool's a place where you're going to probably keep your training roots at. The ability to grow your business?
Yeah, look, we'll always have some sort of establishment here, and 30 is probably the limit of boxes. We will definitely look at expanding in terms of setting up a satellite stable closer to Melbourne, sort of in the next 12 to 24 months. Yeah. It's just got to grow with the growth of the stable. Obviously we're having a lot of success, so we're getting a lot more horses, and we want to be able to capitalise on that and give every horse its best advantage to reach its full potential.
Just mentioned success, obviously a fantastic thrill with Be Good to Your Mother, your first Group 1 winner. Yeah, that must have been a huge thrill, and obviously a nice little feather in the cap early.
Yeah, well, it just ticked that box, you know, go and find the yearling myself and buy it and put people in it and take him right through his education and to win a Group 1 inside 13 starts with him. Yeah, it's sort of what you're in the game for, and that sort of drives you for further success. Once you get that taste for one Group 1, you want to get on to the next one.
Plenty of knocks on the door, no doubt, and I suppose we'll just touch on ATB now and the connection. You've known Darren over the years, and exciting to get involved with well, one of the more renowned syndicators.
Definitely, we're probably pretty keen just to be solely with ATB. You know, you guys come on board with us when we're only small and growing, and have given us support and backed us in to now as well. So we're definitely excited to get more ATB horses. We've had a few come through the system, but now we're just starting to get a few young ones from day one and just put our fingerprints on them.
You mentioned Anita earlier, and it's a family business. A couple of young kids, and Charlie and Annie, and they're obviously going to grow with the stable. How are you finding all that? It's a bit different to being Daniel Bowman solo.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, but it's good. You know, you have a bad day, you go home, and you're still just dad, so they don't really care whether you've had a good day or a bad day. They don't know, none the wiser. So it's a good way to stay grounded and keep your feet squarely on the ground.
Just the point of view from a trainer now, obviously we delve a lot in the staying types, and you know, Darren's been trying to win the Melbourne Cup for 8 or 10 years now and going very close. Do you have any preference training a sprinter to a stayer?
I love training stayers. They're just hard to get. Probably the recent one I've had is that Nashville Sound. We set him up to win at Warrnambool over 2400 and he got the job done. I think he's going to be a nice stayer into the future. But I think it takes a lot more planning and more training to get a stayer right. You know, anyone can sort of train a sprinter. It's pretty easy to just get them up and fit and go. But to a stayer, you've got to keep them sound and get them fit without breaking them, so it's a lot more fun.
Yep. I'll finish off with one question I've asked most of our trainers, just a generic one. Cox Plate, Melbourne Cup. If you had one.
Cox Plate.
Cox Plate, there you go.
Yeah,
Might have to get the boss to start looking for that type of horse. Ventured into the Melbourne Cups a lot and near misses. But look, Daniel, thanks for your time. Great to have you on board, and hope many years of success with ATB.
Thank you.